We are living in a war. I'm not talking about the wars that men wage with each other, tribe against tribe, or state against state, though those are wretched, and women and children always pay a terrible price. In Vietnam, there's a saying, when the elephants fight, the grass gets trampled. Women and girls are always the grass. I'm talking about another war, the first war, the war that the men of patriarchy are waging against women, children, and the earth. The rivers, the ocean, the very ice is under assault. The forests, of course, and yes, the grasses. Mountains are falling to this war. Entire ranges of mountains. Look up mountaintop removal if you don't believe me. It's a war of necrophilia, compelled by sadism, waged against life itself. That war is in its endgame now, as 200 species go extinct every day. Rape is a public pastime, and carbon has breached 440 parts per million. For those who can't accept that the situation is dire, here are a few more numbers. The scale is nearly inconceivable. Pornography sites get more traffic than Amazon, Netflix, Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, and LinkedIn combined. Close to 1/3 of all downloads in the USA are from pornography site. Uploads to Pornhub come to 12,500 gigabytes per minute. It's enough content to fill the memory of every single cell phone on the planet. Women being strangled to unconsciousness is a common feature on popular porn sites. And then these men, saturated in sexual sadism, interact with women in real life. To put it bluntly, men are strangling women to death for sexual pleasure and getting away with it. The generative impulse of our species, biologically rich with exquisite nerves and alchemical joy, has been transmuted into necrophilia. The numbers are a trauma all their own. Battering, for instance, in the United States, a man beats up a woman every 9 seconds. 1/3 of battering starts when a woman is pregnant. And male violence, a man's willful fist or foot, is the #1 cause of birth defects. 80,000 American children are sexually abused every year, and 80% of the time, quote, a parent is the perpetrator. Yeah, you know it's not their mothers. One by one, men do this to the most vulnerable. Children are so easy to control and even easier to hurt. The small bones break, the fragile tissues tear, the fledgling self splinters from its only body. Globally, there are 60 million child brides, 200 million survivors of FGM, and 126 million girls aborted for being female. This is why we call it a war. If these numbers aren't just background noise, the inevitable, unremarkable actions of everyday men taking what is theirs, but actual crimes done to human beings. If women are political subjects with inalienable rights, then there is a word for harm at this scale. War fits, but men scoff when we say it. Fine, but I would like to know what else to call it. If you were born female, you were born on a battlefield. You will be punished for even saying that out loud, but the grim truth is you're going to be punished no matter what for the sin of being female. Battering is the most commonly committed violent crime in the United States. That's more hatred than I can comprehend. And right now, that battlefield is such a slaughter, we can't even gather up our wounded. For the men, well, you have 2 choices. You can lay down your weapons and pick up your humanity. The truth is, as long as domination is eroticized, as long as anyone is socialized to that violation imperative, you're not safe either. 1 in 7 boys is sexually abused. That's a whole lot of rape. Some of you have learned too well that I'm telling the truth, and I'm sorry. It is horrible each and every time. The world should stop spinning, and it doesn't, and I don't know why. The question is, what are you going to choose? Are you going to say, do it to her instead? Or are you going to say, no, it stops here. You don't do it to anyone, not ever. When bison are under attack, they pack into a tight circle. Protected at the center are the mothers and babies. Next are the older calves, weaned and vulnerable. A defensive ring of cows without young comes next. And finally, facing out, stand the bulls. We are under attack. Every last creature is under threat. He has leveled mountains. Believe him when he tells you who he is. If we all make that tight circle, mothers and babies of every species at the center, protected until the last, and plant our feet firmly on our still living earth, we can face him down. He has the rancid thrills of sadism and the sterile dreams of machines. We have love and the miracle of our animal bodies and the stalwart light of every dawn. Don't let him win.